Hey crafters, ready to make your holiday card making a breeze this year? Join me as we dive into this quick double one-sheet wonder and make 8 Christmas cards in minutes. Now, of course, this isn't just for Christmas cards, but we're using Christmas paper and doing Christmas today. So to make these cards, we are going to choose 2 coordinating sheets of cardstock. I am using the Season of Green and Gold. So I decided all of these would look good. So these will be, the advantage to doing this is we're going to have 4 choices in paper. Okay, so I picked these 2 and I am going to stack these and cut them in half. So I'm going to cut it at 6 inches. And this is where it is called, gets its name, the double one-sheet wonder. So we're using 2 of these. And it would be the same as if we were using 1 full sheet. It's just that this is going to give us 4 options. And of course, you can use these other 2 and double the cards and make 16. So we'll set that aside. This is the template. And you're going to notice what's really cool about this is it's divided into 3 sections. So we have 3 4 by 6 inch sections. That also means if you like one of these more than the others, you could just make all of 1 card and this would be speedy stamping all the same. But we're going to do 3 different sets with this. So the first thing we're going to do is divide this into these sections. So we're going to take this and cut into 3 4-inch pieces. So there'll be 4. And then another one at 4. So now you'll see these will take these. I love to do them like this, and then I have my designs here one at a time. So let's start with this end. We're going to be cutting all of them, and we're going to notice we're going to cut 6 of these, and they're 4 inches by 1. So these are going to just be 1-inch strips. So we know this is 6 inches. So I'm going to just go downward. So we will do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So those are going to go all right there. Okay. And then we're going to take this next strip. I'm going to just not, because this isn't complicated, I'm just going to put them all right there. That belongs right there. Okay. Here, you can see we always want to look for the part that goes straight through. So I don't want to cut this and then stop and turn the corner. So I'm going to look at this and I say, oh, I'm going to cut off 3/4 inch at the bottom. So we'll do that. So I know this is 6, so then we'll do this at 5 1/4. And I'm just going to put that on the bottom over there. And then this part we're going to turn and do more 1-inch strips. So we're going to turn it this way. And we know this is 4 inches, so now we're going to cut at 3. Well, I could have these lined up a little better. Let's see. Let's try that. And 2. And 1. Okay, so if we bring these back in, now we're going to see that these are going to line up this way. So I'm going to have all of these strips right here. This will be for this card. Okay, then I have this piece left. And I'm going to look at it first. All of these go straight through. You're going to see I want 2 pieces that are 2 1/2 and then 2 that are 1/2 inch. So you can do this any way that you want. I'm going to do it this way. I don't like to put these at the bottom. I don't want to get down to a 1-inch strip and then cut it in half. So I like to do this either in the beginning or the middle, if that makes sense. So we'll do just as it says on here. We are going to first do 2 1/2 inches. So that one's going to go right there. And then we need 2 at just 1/2 inch. And I think it's easier to go this way. So I'm going to go do it this way. So right now this is 3.5. So I'm going to cut that at 3. There's a 1/2 inch. I just find it easier to have the bulk right there. And then I want another 1/2 inch. So that's going to go 2.5. And that ends up just right because there is my 4 by 2 3/4. Okay, so our paper cutting is done. Now the next thing I've done is to arrange a stack of card bases. So these are the card bases that I've collected, and I took directly from the paper that I'm using. So I have Old Olive, Mossy Meadow, Pecan Pie, White, and Vanilla. These are all from the papers that I can use these as I am creating. So the first one I'm going to do, I'm going to work on these, and these happen to all be one card. So I'm going to pull these off, and I'm going to look at the different ways I can arrange this. So my basic card is going to be 4 strips. So I'm going to do these different ways. I'm going to do one. And this is where the fun comes in. And this is also what can slow you down. If you're going to do them all the same, it's just really easy. I'm going to do one with all. I just think that is such pretty gold. Okay, so I'm going to do one like that. And then let's do one. This is going to make 3 cards. So let's do one that's all green. So I'll mix up the greens. And then I will do one that has everything. Oh, here we go. There. So they've had to turn out right. So here are going to be my 4, but you see, I can do them any way that I want. So I think these are just stunning. So the first one I'm going to do is Vanilla. And I am going to flip these over. As you can see, I love working on a silicone mat because that will keep any of my extra glue off my paper or my table. And then I'm taking my strips. We're going to talk about accessorizing later. So first, we're just going to get our base cards done. And then we're going to talk about how to finish them off. So these are going to be all gold. And I'm just eyeballing and spacing. Isn't that pretty? I just think this makes such an elegant card. I think this would be pretty for a winter wedding card, anniversary card, all kinds of things. Okay. The next one, I'm going to do all greens. And so let's see my choices. I probably want to stick with green. Although white would also be good. Let's see. I'm going to pick this because it's a brighter green. So we're going to take this one. And my card bases are all half a sheet of cardstock. And then scored and folded in half. So they're all the same. They're all fit a regular envelope. These are all greens. Is that right? I better flip them over so they will be all greens, or we'll have an interesting mix. And I hope you're visualizing as we do this that all the kinds of cards you could make with this beyond Christmas. So it's just a speedy way to make scraps. And I really like how this gets 12 sheets and we have 1, because another option would be to have a 5th strip. But I really like how we're going to accessorize this and leave this part right on the edge right there. And then my last one, let's do pecan. I have no idea what I did on the original one, so I'm just sort of guessing here. Well, I just have 1 pecan here. So as long as I just have 1 pecan, let's do, we'll do it anyway. I wasn't thinking right. I just love this pecan. So, okay, I'm going to flip those, quickly do this. Now, if I'm making cards like this at home and really speedy stamping, I have like 3 of these laid out and I get to go through and do all of them. And then I put them all together. So it's all just kind of the lineup. If you kind of do it a little factory style and put some music on, or I love to listen to podcasts while I'm creating. And at the end, you get to see all these beautiful things that you made. Okay, so here is our section of cards number 1. We're going to set these aside right now, and we're going to work on section 2. So section 2, these are going to be leftover pieces. And so what I would do with these, and I'm not going to worry about that today, I would add them to the insides of cards, anything that's left over. So that way we have no waste. Okay, so this time I am going to get 4 cards out of this because I only need 2 for each card. So I will do that. And so I'm just going to put these in different ways. Let's do the opposites. So I'm kind of working it down. Okay, if this is the opposite of this, and this is the opposite of this, and then I don't know, we could do 2 greens and 2 golds. Sure. We're just going for variety. And then I'm going to pick some cards here. So we'll do this green. And I am going to, this time I want to score, because on this card, you can see I'm going to just flip it back a little. So these are 1-inch strips. That means I'm going to want to go back 1 1/4 on here. So I will do 1 1/4. And while I'm at it, let's do a couple more. I will do 1 1/4 here. And let's see, what other colors do I have? I'll do 1 1/4 here. Oh, I did have another pecan pie. Since we're going to do 4, I'm going for all different colors here. And as I fold these up, you can see, and of course I should be using my bone folder. If Tim is here helping me, he's always doing the bone folder, so I guess I'm just deferring to him. I'm going to get all of these folded. So I think the interesting thing about Christmas cards, how many of you got started in stamping by starting with Christmas cards? I was just having a conversation with someone today, and she was telling me that that's how she got started. And I always have to laugh about that because, I mean, that's really diving into the deep end. And after you've made all your Christmas cards, you either have fallen in love with this, or you'll say, I don't think it's for me. So I think it's just pretty funny. Now, what I like to do is just lay these out. I'm going to take the insides, which I have. These are 4 by 5 1/4. So I have all these ready for all the cards. I'm actually going to use these on the inside. So I will tape both of these. And one of these, let's put this one on the outside. You see, one will go on the outside here. The other one will go on this strip to go on the inside of the card. That's not on so straight, but we'll pretend it's just fine. And then I will put that on, and I will continue doing that for each of these cards. So we'll do these 2. So one of them will go on the inside. That will go just like there. And then this one will go on the front. Okay, so there's 1, 2. Oh, here's another one. Now this one will be an exception because if it's white or vanilla, I really don't need another one on the inside. So here we will just put this because there's already a place to write. I'm going to put that right there. Okay, so now we have those ready. Oh, and one more. I have one more here. I'll quickly put this one together. And then this is the middle set of cards. Okay, so I'm going to set those aside. These we'll just add at the end for the rest of the inside. And then we're going to go to the last section. So here are my pieces for the last section. And the way that these are going to go, we're going to do that. And then we're going to just pick a middle one. Let's see. I'm going to use this in the middle. And the other one will go on the inside for a little accent. And then let's flip this one over and do it this way. I do like the golds on the middle, so I think I'll do it this way. So this is how my card is going to look. So, okay, we have a green here. So let's start with this one. I can do all of these pieces. It really helps to just be able to quickly add your adhesive, unless it gets stuck. And then that's its own part. Okay, I'm going to put, I like the gold on top, but it could go either way. I'm going to put that on the top. So now this is cool. You see there's a little gap here, which is going to be filled in by the other. Now this could be raised on mini glue dots, depending on how you're going to, not glue dots, but the pop. What other words? You know, this could be done as a you know, built up thing, but we're gonna leave it flat because we don't know how we're going to accessorize here. And then we'll do the other one. And let's see, I have white left, so we're doing white. So we'll put this at the top. You know, this just makes such efficient use of paper. It's just pretty fun. Okay, and then we will put this one there. Okay, so this is the third design. So now we have our cards ready, and now let's talk about accessorizing. The very easiest way. So you can see all of these you would do the very easiest way, and I did these on several of them. Like here's an example right here. If you wanted to just be as quick as possible, we have these. So here you can see I was playing around with these ideas. So these are my favorite 2 punches at the moment for using words and layering. So these are kind of the 3 colors that I'd used. And then this is the one for the middle. This is, let's see, all of the things that I'm using are on the blog post. So you can see there what they are. But you see, I just think these are fun because these are really layered. And I did several, so then I can look at each one and decide. So like both of these just have these. So I could go through, make all of these and make all of my cards like this. They would be totally finished and totally lovely. But we could also do some other things. The reason I like using a punch, if I'm making speedy cards, you could also use, there are many, many gorgeous dies. So I'll show a couple. But if you're just wanting to be really quick or take your things along, the punches are just such a great way to go. So let's look first at these. These were the first cards that we did. And let's look at some other ideas. So here is just plain, and add some gems. This is cut from the same paper. And I thought, isn't that cool? This makes such an awesome accent. I really love that. Here we can go much bigger. And again, this is cut from the paper. So often you'll have paper that just has other things you can fussy cut, but it could be stamped, punched, it could be anything. And this also is from the paper. And I thought all of these are just really lovely and little different versions of the same thing. So it's also a way you can make your cards look different. Or if it's Christmas and you want to make them all the same, you can explore and then decide what you like or make them different. And so then the next one, this is the really plain one. Oh, and here's another one that's very plain. I've just added a few gems here. Or we can go, how cool is this? This is a large tag die, and it goes on like that and has the big words. And again, it just has a little cutout paper accent. And I thought those are really fun. And here's another one that just has that same little cutout branch. And again, all of these things are from the paper. And then the last idea, this was done totally plain. This is done with the cutout punch. And this one is done with a little more added things. Thought I would quickly show you this paper to show you what I mean. When you're looking at papers, do you see how these can be cut? These can be cut, all these different pieces. So this is where I'm getting all the fun little fill-in things. And so I don't know, which one do you like best? And if you like this one, you wonder, here's a similar one that's using non-Christmas paper. And you can just see how easy it is to tweak what you are working on to make it your own. So enjoy this. Watch this next.